Welcome back to Inspired Word. I'm Chauncey Navarro, where we're doing a verse-by-verse study through the book of the Revelation of Jesus. We're in chapter 14, verse 9 right now, which goes on, as we mentioned before, there's three angels that fly through heaven. We've already mentioned the first two. The first preaching the gospel to the whole world. The second, speaking of Babylon's fall. And now the third and final one in verse 9 saying, Then a third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If anyone worships the beast or his image, and receives his mark on his forehead or his hand. And unfortunately the verse stops there. It's kind of better if you can actually go over a complete statement, but we'll continue that in the next verse. But now the third angel is flying through heaven, and now he's proclaiming that if anybody worships the beast or his image, and as we saw in the last chapter, that the beast forces everybody to worship him and his image, or you can't buy or sell. So this is more of a common thing coming through, because this is what's put, and receives his mark on his forehead or his hand. And this was the mark of the beast. We discussed this last chapter before about that without the mark of the beast you can't buy or sell, and nobody can buy or sell with the mark of the beast. But if you take the mark of the beast, your name will not be written in the book of life. So we're talking about a really tough decision here in terms of people deciding, okay, I can't buy or sell anything without this mark, and yet if you take this mark, you can't, your name will not be written in the book of life. You're talking about your eternal soul. So this is a critical issue here. And you see once again Satan's counterfeit. Here God has his mark on the 144,000 where he puts his name with his kingdom. And the Antichrist has his mark with his name and his kingdom on the rest. And so it's making a clear-cut division here between God's people and Satan's people. As we continue on, I'll see you back here for verse 10 in chapter 14 as we continue on the statement that stopped in the middle about, though if anyone worships the beast or his image or receives the mark on his forehead or his hand. Now if we continue next verse, it's going to tell us what happens to those people. I'm Chauncey Navarro. I'll see you back here at Inspired Word.